Welcome to Gen X TrustFall, the podcast dedicated to planned and unplanned midlife changes and the ability to trust in the unknown. I'm Carla Loomis. For this week's episode, we have a mix of new and previously released segments. My chat with Ivy Villegas about empty nesting and the spoiling of her dog made me think that a re-release of our very first interview would be a good pairing. Our Gen X TrustFall debut episode featured Vanessa Graziano and her midlife career change from technology to animal communication. A whole episode dedicated to dogs? Yes, please. So cue up episode 27, slap on some headphones, grab that leash, and say the magic words, "Do you want to go for a walk?" Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoy. So the reason I called you was because I saw your post about your dog, that you had a birthday party for your dog, and I loved that. And so let's talk about treating our animals like
treating our animals like our kids.
Like our kids.
Yeah. Well, my dog just turned, it's not even my dog. He's my granddog. My daughter got him her senior year, and then she went off to college.
Great.
So she still calls him her dog, but he's my dog now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's super cute.
Yeah. Oh, everybody knows him at the dog park.
Okay. He's
Levi.
very popular.
Yes, he's very popular. Everybody knows him. In fact, people walk in, they're like, "Hi, Levi." I'm like, "I don't even know who you are, or I haven't seen you." And he runs up to everybody. And he did that ever since when we got him. He was about 3 months old. And he went up to anybody, went up to other dogs, wanted to play from the get-go. So he's just got a lot of personality.
Aww.
And, he was a pain in the ass when he was a puppy. Lots of energy, always getting into something, chewing a little bit. He never really chewed like our shoes or anything like that, but he would, find a sock and chew it and things like that. Now he's way better. He magically turned the corner when he turned 2, which was in May.
Okay.
And now he's like, calm down. He listens really well. So all of that has paid off.
Oh, good. He's a big boy.
No, he's tiny.
No, I know, but
he's a big boy age. Yes. No, he only weighs 27 pounds. But he plays, it's so funny because he's very tough, and he plays with all the big dogs at the dog park, and they wrestle, and everybody knows him, and everybody knows he plays with all the dogs. Yeah. And people used to say, "Oh my God, my dog's being aggressive with your dog. I'm sorry." I'm like, no. He goes right back, and he will. They roll him, the bigger dogs roll him, and he just pops right back up and wrestles them. And he's got his own little posse there now, for the regulars. Yeah. So it's pretty funny. Yeah. And, I have a whole new social circle from the dogs.
Just like preschool, when your kids are little.
So it started a year ago when my daughter went off to college. He was so active that I was like, I have to take him to the dog park. And I work from home, so my schedule is pretty flexible. So I started walking in the morning while he was playing. Yeah. And then I started getting other people walking, and it just kind of grew from there. And now we go every day, 2 times a day, to the dog park. And in the morning, I'm there for like an hour. I walk about 3 miles while he's playing with all of his friends. And then in the afternoon, I walk to anywhere from 1 to 2 like leisurely miles because I'm walking with somebody else.
Okay.
In the mornings, I walk fast because I want to get my cardio in. Yeah. And anyway, so that started a year ago, and I started really walking. I started out walking a mile or something like that, and slowly built up. And I have shed myself of 50 pounds.
Wow, good job.
Yeah.
And so good job, Levi.
Yeah, good job. I owe it all to Levi. I say, because actually, if I didn't have him, I would find excuses.
Yeah,
I don't feel like walking
exactly.
today.
Yes.
It's cold. It's rainy. It's, whatever it is. But no, we pretty much go every day, unless it's really pouring.
Right.
And everybody, like I said, everybody knows this. He has his own friends. Yeah. There's about 5 or 6 dogs, which are like the closest. And we're like a little cult.
They're a pack.
They're a pack.
A wolf pack.
I call them Levi's posse. Yeah. And there's all different sizes. And I've gotten to be really good friends with two of the women that go to the dog park every day like I do. They go once a day. I go twice a day. But again, I work from home. And they get really excited to see each other,
Sure.
the dogs. And, I've got my friends. Now we actually do social activities with and without the dogs.
Well, yeah, just like kids. Sometimes you have a play date with the kids, and sometimes mommy needs a big girl play date.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mommy needs time to herself.
That's right.
Grandma.
Now, what kind of cake did Levi have for his birthday?
We actually did cupcakes.
Oh, cupcakes.
Cupcakes.
Okay.
So they have dog cookies and dog cupcakes both at Nob Hill.
Oh,
they have cookies and
gosh.
stuff. I know. It's ridiculous. And then they have at the pet store, they have cupcakes and cookies. So the dog was born in May. That's all we know. We got him in August, so we knew he was 3 months old. So because we're Mexican and he must be Mexican too, we decided his birthday was Cinco de Mayo.
I love that.
So we never forget it, and it was always be there. Well, I don't know I was really busy at work, and I got kind of behind. So the day before, I'm buying everything, and I'm putting together goodie bags for the other dogs. Yeah, fucking ridiculous. And I'm like grumbling the whole time, but everybody kind of does it.
Yeah. Oh,
and everybody else
gosh.
is like mostly retired and stuff. So, but I'm running around grumbling, and I'm called my daughter. And I'm like, your dog. I'm doing his birthday party. This is ridiculous. I'm doing goodie bags. And she's like, that's on you. So I'm like, God, this is what my life has become. This is who I am now. I don't even recognize myself. But when my kids left, when my daughter left, because my son left several years ago to go to college. And so I still had my daughter for another 4 years. And then when she left, I thought I was going to be really crushed and sad. And, what am I going to do? And, oh, my God, I'm living here with an old woman. So I'm like, this is going to be really hard. And my kids would even tell me, you have to find a hobby to do something. You have to do something. I'm like, I can't have hobbies. Taking care of Grammy. And so the dog thing, I never thought that was going to happen. Yeah. And like I said, I got a new social circle. And so I've just been loving life.
I love that.
And again, getting healthy, lost weight, really trying to, at this age, we really have to think about longevity.
Yes.
And I'm like, since I had my kids so late in life, I was 38 when my son was born and 42 when my daughter was born. I had done all the things. I had traveled. I had, gone out with friends. So by that age, your life's slowing down. So my life became devoted to my kids. And I used to help out at the school all the time. They went to Spring Grove. And then they were both very active in sports and ASB and scouts. So I was constantly running around. And then my husband and I split up in 2017. So I moved out and rented a place that I just loved. It was, a house out in the country. Yeah. And my kids did really well there. And it was great. Everything was great. We were kind of poor because it was, I was having to pay all by myself.
Yeah.
But we just had a great time, me and the kids there. We had a really good time. We really enjoyed each other. And they were 13 and 10. So they were still pretty young. Yeah. So they kind of grew up there for almost 2 years. Okay. And then I moved in with my parents to help take care of them. So
wow.
It's a whole other story.
I'm still stuck on the dog.
Oh, yeah.
And the dog birthday, because it makes me really happy to think about that. My dog story is, it was Christmas. It was right before Christmas. I went to Tractor Supply to, you're looking for something. You don't know what. And you're like, I need one more gift for this, whoever. Go in Tractor Supply. I get out of my car and there's a dog adoption in the parking lot. Yeah. And I get stuck over there. Some invisible force made me walk over there. The lady digs under a pile of puppies and finds the runt of the whole thing. And she says, it's cold. Put her in your jacket. And I'm like, oh, God. Fuck you, lady. Yeah. I didn't say that.
Well, yeah, but you think it is.
I put the dog in my jacket, and then I told her, I'll be right back. I'm going to go buy a bed for the dog right now. And so that's what I bought at Tractor Supply, was all the stuff for the dog, which I then adopted. And anyway, my husband was pissed. It's not like buying a candy bar at the checkout. And so anyway, he was
15-year commitment.
So mad. Anyway, he fell in love with the dog and said they had a relationship. Like, he was like, we have a relationship. So I bought them matching Hawaiian shirts, and they never got to wear them, but I still, that was my point of, this is what I've become. I'm now buying matching clothes for my husband and my dog.
Oh yeah. I actually bought my daughter for Christmas, a sweatshirt that has, so you send in a picture of the dog and they embroider it. It looks just like him. And then when she went away to college, I gave her there's a picture of him and they stuff it.
Oh,
and,
gosh.
Yeah. So she has Levi with her also.
Oh, my
And she's
gosh.
constantly telling me, send me pictures of Levi. You haven't sent me in 2 days. So I'm like, okay. And then I go to the dog park and I'm like, she started taking him first to the dog park.
Okay.
So she made friends with people there. And then I started coming with her. And then again, when she left.
Gosh.
So, she became friends with all of them. So my social circle, she knows them all.
She knows them.
She already knows them all.
That is so cute.
And they love her because they were like, oh, Layla comes and, at that time she was 17 and 18 years old. She comes and she talks to us old people and, she's great. And my kids have both of them are really good about talking to older folks or just adults in general.
Yeah.
They're very comfortable because we always treated them kind of like, not like adults, but they have the whole Mexican thing instilled in them, respect and all that. Now Levi's the one with respect. We bring each other gifts for each other's dogs, not just on their birthday. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And one of my friends there, her birthday was Thursday, and I took her a gift yesterday. So she's got a Boston Terrier. So I brought her a bag that says, life is good with Bostons, and like a, not Stanley, not off-brand, whatever, mug that says, life is better with a Boston or something like that.
Something.
And she absolutely loved them.
Oh my gosh.
And everybody knows that Levi is a major chewer. So when people buy new chewer, stuff that'll last, because he tears apart stuff things. They'll bring it. Hey, try this with Levi. See if this lasts very long. And then for Halloween, we all planned, okay, we're going to meet there at, 4:00 and everybody bring their costume and we'll have a little dog parade. It's so ridiculous. And I don't even bat an eye anymore. Before I was like, oh my God, these people are crazy. Now I'm head crazy. And we, that, or we always take pictures of them for any little holiday. And it's so ridiculous.
Well,
so ridiculous.
Until you have a grandchild,
right.
You're
Which
just
hopefully won't be for a while.
You're practicing. You're practicing for your grandchild and for your kids to be really angry at you for spoiling them rotten. So, well, thank you for coming. Thanks for talking about this. This is awesome.
Years old, since your target audience is a little older. I think, my profession, I like to call it my encore career, or my act two.
Ooh, I like that.
I know. I think it just sounds a lot better than retired.
It does
at this age.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like it.
So I'm an animal communicator. I spent 35 years in the technology world and left there last year, and I've been an animal communicator since 2014 professionally. So it was always kind of my side hustle, which was on the DL at work. I didn't tell many people at work because it just a technology career with a woo-woo side hustle doesn't quite match.
Right.
So I kind of kept that on the DL. But once I left my technology career, I just kind of jumped in a little bit further to see if I can grow this and reach more people and animals.
In computer, what was your title you were at Oracle, correct?
I was at Oracle.
Okay.
I was a director in our HR technology organization, which we did internal implementations of our own software. So it was very analytical, very, what is it, the left brain?
Yeah.
So this work as an animal communicator helps me engage more of my right brain, but working with a lot of the left brain analytical people.
Yeah.
there just wasn't a lot of understanding about what this was. So I just kind of kept quiet.
Yeah.
There was a few people I told and shared with.
Right. Let's go back because I loved your story. I read a little bit about it when on the forum that you submitted, but tell me about kind of the steps that led up to this.
How far back would you like me to go?
As far as you would like, whatever you deem is relevant.
Okay. I think really, I don't know if I would have said this, 20 years ago, but now have been so immersed in like the communicating with animal world for 20 years, I think what I would say is really where this all started was when I was 5 years old, and my family moved from New Jersey to Colorado, and all my three older sisters, everybody was crying because they were leaving their friends and their school and everything. But, I was too young to really have those kind of attachments. But I just joined along with the crying because everybody else was upset. And
right.
Apparently, the whole ride from New Jersey to Colorado, I was saying, I need a puppy. I want a puppy. So mercifully, my parents got me a puppy when we moved. And what I kind of realized and found out later, actually through an animal communicator, was that was kind of the first time in my little young life that I felt vulnerable and like things were not okay. But I kind of instinctively or intuitively knew that a puppy would make things better for me.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of set me out on my journey of dogs make the world okay for me.
Uh-huh.
And then that kind of grew into
right.
Animals make the world okay for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I want to help with that.
Yes.
So there were milestones along the way, but I think that was kind of the first big one. Oh, I think the next big one is when I got my first dog as an adult when I was 30 years old, which I resisted and resisted. My husband was pushing to get the dog, and I was like, no. I'm a career girl. I got to build my career. I don't have time for a dog. Why would we get a dog? But he, I caved, and we got a puppy, a chocolate lab, and his name's Theo. And he completely turned my world upside down in terms of, I fell in love with this dog. I kind of just knew once we got him, like almost instantly, like, oh, this is what they say about unconditional love. I get it. And I still call him my soulmate. He's been gone since 2010, but I'm still in constant communication with him every day. And I look at him as kind of a guide for me that helps me through life.
Aww. It's so interesting that you said that, because now that you're telling your story, it was kind of not similar for me, but we had a dog when I was a kid, and then we gave her away because we moved into town, and she would chase cars. And so anyway, we gave her away, and then my parents did not get a dog at all. Like we didn't have dogs after that growing up. And I got a dog when my kids were little, an Aussie, Australian Shepherd, Sylvie, and she was part human. I mean, without a doubt. And
I believe it.
And that I totally get when you just said that, like, soulmate, your dog was your soulmate. That was true for Sylvie and me. Like, she was just part of me. I don't know how else to say it. And
I get that.
Yeah.
And I bet she helped you. Was she like a good partner in like raising your kids and managing the busyness of that time?
Yeah, I could have left her with the kids. Like, I could have had, she was probably a better babysitter than a person. She was just like the dog in Peter Pan. They have the Nana. Nana's their dog, and she's the nursemaid in Peter Pan in the cartoon. That was Sylvie, yes.
Yeah, I call them our heart dogs.
Yeah.
You've probably maybe heard that term. And I just, you said she was part human, and I hear that a lot from people.
Yeah.
And I think how I kind of interpret that is, with their heart dogs is this is kind of out there, but I believe there are souls that we are here in this lifetime, whether they're humans or animals, that we've been with in other lifetimes, and we may always be in future
connected.
times.
Yeah.
And they're just part of our happy
Yeah.
soul group. So it's like, when you meet a person who you're like, oh, I really love them.
Yeah.
And just instantly, I just feel like that's who our heart dogs are too.
Yeah. How do you begin to get a business like this, or how do you make this a viable career? Like, where do you start as an animal communicator?
I think for me, I really put out my animal communicator shingle in 2014.
Uh-huh.
And it was really, really slow, obviously. I kind of really just started with friends and family, and did a lot of practicing with them.
Right.
And then, word kind of spread a little bit, and then people would call me, and I really struggled with, oh, can I really charge people for this? This just is, maybe I'm making it up. I don't know if I'm good enough. Like all of those things that you go through when you first start off on any venture.
Yeah.
And so I'd say for the first 5 years, I don't think I even adjusted my prices for the first 5 years. And I set them very, very low, because I was like, I don't know if this is worth it. Am I worthy of this? Right. All of that.
Yeah.
But I'd say over like the first 5 years, word just really spread. I mean, I haven't done any like marketing or advertising or anything like that. Partially because it's not really me.
Yeah.
But also with this kind of work, I really just kind of want to attract people who are interested and open to it, and not just people who are like skeptical but kind of curious.
Right.
So everything just kind of grew by word of mouth. And so, 11 years later, once I retired from Oracle or left Oracle, I kind of had a pretty good client base.
Right.
And so I didn't really have to start from scratch. So I just kind of built on that. So my goal when I was working was like to do like 5 appointments a week, which over the last like 5 years, I was able to do.
Yeah.
And then when I left, I'm like, okay, I want to, like double that. And I've been able to do that and more. So I'm really grateful for that. An interesting thing, in the spring of this year, a friend of mine who's also an animal communicator, we studied together. One of her clients posted a video on TikTok about her experience in talking with her little dachshund. And it completely blew up. Like she had like over 1 million views.
Oh my God.
And she didn't have a lot of followers. It was just like one of those weird, that got passed along the like the dachshund people, right?
Yeah.
And so based on that, her business is kind of the same cadence as mine. She got like 130 appointment requests in 24 hours.
Oh my gosh.
And she called me. She's like, what is going on? And then she found out about the TikTok video. So that blew up. And I was able to like jump into my technology mode, and I helped her set up like an online scheduling system, because she was just doing everything by email. So that was kind of fun to help her with that.
Yeah.
But I got a lot of like overflow from that.
Oh
so
my gosh.
Over the summer, things kind of really blew up. While we call them the TikTokers, while we're making appointments. But what was interesting about that is a lot of those people were more like curious and I'm not sure about this, but I'm kind of curious. And Marianne and I both were saying those just weren't like the rich experiences we were looking for, because they all were kind of asked, not everybody, but a lot of them were asking like the same thing. Like, do they love me? What are they, kind of what I consider like kind of superficial surface stuff, where you can go so much deeper with your animals. So it was kind of an interesting experiment.
Yeah.
And like validation for me that like, I want to be careful who I attract as clients, only from the standpoint of I want to make sure they're getting something really rich out of it.
Right.
And it's helping me understand that, what I'm doing is helpful to others.
Right.
That's kind of my main goal behind this. Thankfully, I'm not making this I don't need to make this I need to make a bunch of money career.
Yeah.
That's more about this phase of my life of being of service.
Right. That's what I was thinking as you were explaining that, because I'm thinking, I don't know. I don't know what you charge. I'm going to just pick a number out of the air. Let's say it's $50 an hour or something, or $50 a reading, or 100, whatever it is. Like, you're not interested in just like a charge, like just doing that to get money. It's more of a, I don't know. I mean, I would compare it to teaching in a way, because teaching, you don't earn anything. You earn barely anything. And yet what you take away is so much bigger. My best years and my best moments of teaching, I would have done it for free. You know what I mean? It was not, and unfortunately in our society, like, you kind of, especially in your career, like, you have to charge to make people see value. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to monetize it in order to give it value in other people's eyes, I think, too. I mean, so anyway.
Yeah, that's it. You know what? That is I'm so glad, first of all, you made that parallel to the teaching, because I just want to say shout out to you as a teacher and all the other teachers. My sister's a teacher, and I've never seen somebody work so hard for like so little money. Like, I always felt guilty over at my Oracle years, like making so much more than she did and like not working half as hard as she did. But yeah, I think that's hard with any business, like when you make it your own, of putting a value to it, especially if it's something that's like really heart-centered and really sort of like, I want to do this for the world or for whatever. Because it's not only about like, seeing value, other people seeing value in it, but also it's kind of a test of how much value do you put on what you can bring forward. And I think that's the hard thing for a lot of us.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with that. And maybe especially as women, I don't see men having as big of a problem knowing their value. But women, especially our age, I think younger women are much better at it now. But for our generation, I think we saw our moms just totally devalued in every way. And so I think we carry some of that, and it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder to value all your experience, I think, as a woman, and especially, like I said, at our age. But
and I love what my older sister said to me when I turned 40. She said, "Oh, welcome to the fuck it 40s." And I'm like, "What's that?" She's like, "Oh, because you don't just whatever, fuck it, everything." And then when I turned 50, she's like, "Welcome to the fuck you 50s." And I'm like, "What's that about?" She's like, "You don't give a crap about anybody, about what anybody thinks, about anybody does." And it is very liberating.
It is. It's very liberating. And especially when you surround yourself with other people that like that, I think it really is the best. And I don't really like, I don't like knowing that I've gone past the halfway point in my timeline, but it's not a bad place to be mentally.
True. Yes, correct. Yes. That's the light to the dark of, oh my gosh, I don't have a lot of years left. What do I do with them?
Yes.
I'm panicked.
Yeah. So do you primarily work with dogs? Like, is that your main clientele are with dogs?
No, it's really dogs and cats and horses.
Oh.
Because those are primarily the pets that people have.
Yeah.
I was really lucky to get in with these two women who are these horse gals who are lovely human beings, and they have, one of them runs a rescue for wild Mustangs.
Oh, wow.
So I've learned so much about that world, which is fascinating and heartbreaking at the same time.
Yeah.
And then the other, she also has a nonprofit to rescue horses, but is a horse trainer, but she is like a heart-centered horse trainer. So she approaches horse training very differently. So got a lot of horse clients through them, and I'm so grateful. And I've learned so much about horses, and they're so amazingly wise.
Yeah.
And kind of in general, but I mean, dogs and cats can be amazingly wise too. So those are kind of my primary animal clients, but I have definitely talked to people who have had like hedgehogs and snakes and bearded dragons. Sometimes I'll send some little messages to the mice in the house who are annoying the cats.
Oh my gosh.
So it kind of depends on what people have. So I've done some, fun little ones like that too. And then, not from like a client standpoint, but with my animal communication mentor, I've taken a few trips to swim with the dolphins in the wild in the Bahamas. And we've done like some workshops and clinics with the dolphins. And that's been really cool and powerful.
That is so cool. And people pay you to do like clinics with the dolphin?
No, that's like a professional deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So no. But my mentor, she does that. She takes people on trips to this place in the Bahamas, and people pay to go on the trip and work with her, and kind of get wisdom from the dolphins. So yeah, it's really cool. Maybe someday I'll do something like that. But for now, I'm just happily helping people with their animals that they love.
Take me through the process. How do the messages come to you, or how do you relay those messages? Like take me through the process.
Yeah, sure. Okay, hold on your hats here.
Okay.
So it's all based in telepathic communication, so like nonverbal communication.
Uh-huh.
And so, what I tell people when I first get on the phone with them, because I do everything over the phone, I don't do it in person.
Okay.
Is, I connect with their animals through the love that they share with them. So like at the heart level.
Okay.
So if you imagine Sylvie was your dog name, dog's name, right?
Yeah.
Imagine like how much you loved her. So I ask people to say, tell me a few things that you love about your dog. Like what makes you smile or tell me the story about how they came to be part of your family. And that like instantly gets people into their hearts.
Okay.
Like, right? You think about Sylvie and what you loved about her, you can probably invoke that same feeling of, oh, I just loved her so much. And oh, it was so cute when she did this and so cute when she did that.
Yeah.
And so once they're kind of in that place, that's where I can kind of plug into the connection.
Okay.
And so then like kind of technically how it works is I literally I help them have a conversation. So like I'm an interpreter, like you speak one language, your dog speaks another, and I'm just going to help you guys talk.
Yeah.
'Cause I can interpret between the both of you.
Yeah.
And so how I send and receive messages to the animals is, through like my, sometimes I say it out loud, but really it's kind of like in my head and my imagination. I'll form pictures for them.
Okay.
So if they want to know like, hey, how does he like, the barn that I moved him to? I'll say, okay, tell me where he moved. What does it look like? Does he have his own run? Does he share it? Does he out in the pasture? Whatever. So I'll have them kind of describe it, and then I'll formulate a picture of that in my imagination and send that to the animal and the horse and say, what's this like for you? How's it like to be in your new place?
Yeah.
And then how I receive information back is kind of in 5 different ways. Primarily, I get pictures also, and words and sentences. So I'll like hear them say, oh yeah, it's great. And the guy next door, he's really fun.
Yeah.
Or I'll get a picture of, like a big, if they haven't told me, they're out in a pasture, like a big, beautiful green pasture. And I'll say, he's showing me a green pasture. And she's like, oh yeah, if he gets to turn out there in the afternoon, it's really great. Yeah. But also sometimes I'll get like physical feelings. So if I'll ask them, people want to know how their pets are feeling, especially as they age. And so if I might get like an ache in my right arm, I'll say, oh, he's showing me something and, his left shoulder is hurting. And hopefully they say, yeah, that's exactly right. He just, blah, blah, blah. And we took him to the vet. And sometimes I'll get emotional feelings. So especially if they're asking things about, changes in the household or, kind of any changes. I might get some emotional feelings, and I'll say, I'm feeling sad, and or he's feeling happy about that.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'll get metaphors too, which kind of always go through my filter. So like just in that, actually the last few days, there always seems to be themes. These dogs were like aging. These were two different clients and both had like aging dogs. So they were asking, how you doing? You know, are you slowing down? Whatever. And they both showed me the metaphor of like being semi-retired. And one was like, well, you know, I'm just out playing golf. You know, I only want to play 9 holes, not 18 holes. So those metaphors kind of tend to go through my filter. And sometimes I have to, you know, explain to them like, oh, that's what this means to me. And that's what they're trying to communicate.
Oh my God.
And so then when
awesome.
I'm, you know, when I get that information, then I just speak it out loud to their person.
Yeah.
And, you know, the goal is for them to validate that, oh yeah, that sounds like him, or, oh yeah, that's right. He, you know, he did move it to a new place that has a lot more space to run around in.
Yeah.
So that's always like the high five win moments. But that's exactly what it is. And I will also mention that even if your animal has passed, that's still there, right? I'm sure you still feel that with Sylvie.
Oh, yeah.
So that's how I can communicate with animals who have passed over, because it's that same thing.
Yeah.
And in fact, there are times that, like, if I didn't know the animal was still in their body, I wouldn't necessarily know that they were either in spirit or in their body. And in fact, there's been some people who have kind of tried to trick me.
Right.
Like, I remember this one client saying, you know, I talked to her dog for like 30 minutes and she was asking things. Like the first thing she asked was, what kind of vibes are you getting from them? And I'm like, you know, I don't really want to start there. Like, I'd like to start, because, you know, I like to start more with like, hi, how you doing? Like, how do you like your food? Or, you know, we just moved. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
You know, think of like going up to somebody at a party and just all the first question you ask them is like, tell me your hopes and dreams and your life aspirations and what are your childhood wounds? Like, you're not doing that, right?
Yeah, you need a little foreplay before you get in. You got to.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got to tickle a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. So she, you know, we're talking to the dog for 30 minutes. She's saying, oh, we moved and how does he like the new view and blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, and the dog is telling me there's something she's not telling you. There's something she's not telling you. She's not being forthright.
Yeah.
And so I gently, you know, said, you know, he's telling me there's something maybe more you want to mention, but if you're not comfortable doing that, that's fine. Yeah. And she's like, yeah, well, he died 6 months ago. And, you know, my head went, oh, for fuck's sake, come on, lady.
Yeah.
But then I professionally said, okay, let me explain to you why I didn't know that your dog had died. Yeah. You know, 6 months ago, and just kind of explain that I just connect with that same place. I connect with their soul, and that soul is present whether they're in a body or not.
Yes. The love for that dog has not diminished at all just because the dog is not there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And so what would you say, like, you're talking kind of about, like, people trying to trick you, or, because now that I'm thinking about that, like, you're on the phone, it's someone that you don't know, like, there's a lot of ambiguity there that makes it really easy to try to trick you or to try to catch you in something or whatever. Like, would you say that, like, what percentage of maybe first-time clients especially have that skepticism?
You know, I'd say about like maybe 10% have the skepticism, but only maybe like 5% actually try to trick me.
Okay.
And it's not ill-willed, right? It's just like, I want to see if this thing is real or not. Yeah. And I even had somebody like that yesterday, and I hadn't in a long time. And I think by the end of it, she was what I'll call like a believer, because there was a few things that came up that she was like, oh yeah, that sounds like him, or she laughed, or but so, you know, not many. And I think that's why, like, just having word of mouth is the way to go with this kind of thing. Yeah. Because if you're out like advertising and you know, doing social media, whatever, you're going to attract more of the people who are curious and skeptical and, you know, not ill-meaning, but just, I'm going to test this out and see what it's really like. Yeah. But I do have a policy that, like, if the first 15, 20 minutes we're on the call and I don't feel like I'm making a connection, because that energy of the person can block the connection. Yes. And so there's no way I'm getting through it. Right. Yeah. I just will say, you know what, I don't think I'm the best person for you and your dog. And so we can just end this call. Obviously there's no charge. And I just kind of cut it off there.
Yeah.
I haven't had to do that hardly at all in the last 10 years.
Yeah. It sounds like this is something really fulfilling for you.
Yeah, it really is. But I will tell you, there's some days that I'm like, oh, this is starting to feel like a job. And so I have to, and I think that's more about just the time that I'm spending doing it and not like respecting that I want, my point in retiring is not working full time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So I think it's more that. So that's under control for me.
Yeah.
But yes, to answer your question, yes, because in this, chapter of life, I think for me and maybe for a lot of us our age, it's about what can we do to give back, to serve others, to make the world a little bit of a better place, to leave a little legacy beyond our families. And that just to do something that feels more meaningful to us, that is, helpful to others and of service to others.
Yeah.
And it is hard. I mean, I was lucky that I kind of started this, 10 years ago in the middle of my career, but this may not be how I feel about this forever. One of my friends who was an animal communicator, and she, wrapped up when she was like 65. She's like, my heart just wasn't in it anymore. And I'm like, okay, I can get that. Right. And I think that's right. How you may have felt about teaching.
Yes.
It's just your heart wasn't in it anymore. And that's great. Right. That's, we're supposed to shift and grow and expand and try new things.
100%.
Theo, I think, are animals who pass, not all of them, but I think a lot of them, like, they're still with us and they want to help us and they want to guide us. And when we ask for their help and we listen, they are thrilled.
Aww.
So maybe that's a way you want to go.
Yeah. Well, I really like this podcasting thing. So if I can keep this going, I'm gonna do that. But will you, before we go, because I know I'm gonna forget, I want you to, if you want to, do you want to promote your business?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm happy to share my website, and you guys, what I tell people is, like, check it out. There's like FAQs on there. You have to do the businessy stuff, and just see if it resonates with you. I just tell people, like, if it doesn't resonate with you, like, that's fine. And there might be another animal communicator that it does. So check out other people too, read their websites, look at their profiles, and see, who resonates with you. And or if the concept does or not. So my website is Yap Communication. That's YAP and the word communication.com. And the YAP stands for Your Animal's Perspective. Also a little, we're yapping with your animal too. So
yeah, that's awesome. I love that.
And you'll see a picture of Theo on there.
Aww.
Also. So.
I know Sylvie's with me all the time because I think about her all the time, but I think she's also the one telling me, don't get another dog right now. You don't need another dog. I'm the only dog you ever needed. That's what she's telling me. Because she was pissed when I brought home a puppy. Oh, she was so pissed. And she tolerated her, but she was not happy about it. So, anyway, well... Yeah,
I think especially some of those wiser dogs are like, why on earth would you do this to me and yourself? Exactly. You don't need more work.
What are you doing? I'm going to have to watch this kid now.
Right. Yeah. Why did you get... I had a dog tell me today, actually, because she was like, or no, it was a cat yesterday. Do you want another cat? Like a friend to play with? And he's like, I wouldn't have to, or she was like, I wouldn't have to take care of it, right? And she's like, well, no, but it'd be a playmate. And she's like, well, if I could like take it out of the closet when I want to play with it and then put it back in when I'm done, sure. But like that cat didn't want any responsibility either. So I feel you, Sylvie.
I get it. I know. Well, Vanessa, thank you so much for talking to me. I can't tell you how excited I was to talk to you about this.
Well, thank you, Carla. I really appreciate your interest and especially in something that's kind of out there. And I love that you have found something that fills your heart doing this podcast. And you told me at the beginning, like it's just really creative for you.
Yeah.
And I think that's so. I love that. I love that that taps into that part for you. And
Thank you for joining me on today's adventure. Special thanks to Ivy Villegas for publicly admitting to spoiling her dog like a child. And thank you to Vanessa Graziano for getting me started on my amazing podcasting journey, and of course, for loving dogs so much. Thank you for listening to Gen X TrustFall. If you liked this episode or have a suggestion for a potential guest, please check out our website at genxtrustfall.com. Gen X TrustFall is produced by me and the recording master, Ryan Loomis, at Double Banger Studio. Music by Ryan and Sam. Website and advisory by Amy Clifford.
Just